Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm allowing you to talk. Okay. How are you doing? Is the chat access allowed for everyone? I'll just check. Panelist can. Okay. Hi everyone. While everyone is joining, feel free to introduce yourself.
काम जरा आता करता
Nilesh. You're unmuted, Nilesh.
हॅलो
Hey
हॅलो
Nilesh. Yeah. How are you doing?
तुम्हाला मी तुम्हाला द्यायची म्हणलं मला बटन बसून देऊ का म्हणलं तुम्हाला इथे मी नाही म्हटलं त्याला करता येईल म्हणून बट
I've muted you, Nilesh. I think. Hey Anand. Hey Bhavani. Hey Bhavani, hey Jaswin, hey Lokesh, hey Mithun, and Radhika. Okay, I'm allowing you guys to unmute. Okay, I'll basically do that for next 3 more minutes. Okay, so be responsible when you are unmuting. Yeah. Hi Lokesh,
Um, Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm
This
good.
is Lokesh here.
Hi.
Yeah, I need to know about what is the motto of this meeting? Like, what we need to do now? Mm,
I will basically, as part of this meeting, what I'll do is I would walk you through the use cases of Terno in FMCG domain. And yeah,
okay, yeah. Like, I'm working in an FMCG domain. The
okay,
company name is Double Horse Food Manufacturing Company.
okay,
We are primarily focusing on rice-based manufacturing.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
How big is your firm?
Sir, per day, we will be producing more about nearly 1 to 5 tons in average, sir.
One,
In each products.
okay, okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So the
And
yeah,
this meeting is based upon like how data is related to the company. Like it's about
correct,
data scientist. Like yeah.
correct, correct. How can data science help FMCG in general, and how to achieve data science on your data on large scale? That's the purpose of the meeting.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wonderful. Wonderful to have you, Lokesh.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone wants to introduce themselves, they can go ahead. All right. All right. So basically, roughly the agenda. I'll just share my screen so that everybody has the context. Yeah. While everyone is joining, we can spend some time introducing ourselves. If you're not comfortable with unmuting mic, you can put your about myself in the chat. Would love to know you. I'll go through personally every message, so please feel free to put it in the chat. And yeah, so most of the people in this meeting are going to be from the FMCG domain. Okay. Those who have joined right now, I have turned on the unmute for them. You can, yeah, feel free to. Wonderful. Wonderful to have you here. Okay. So feel free to introduce yourself. Feel free to introduce yourself using the chat or raise your hand and I can unmute you in case you want to ask a question. Are you guys able to hear me? Everyone? Wonderful. All right. Hi, Apu. Great to have you here. And wonderful, wonderful to have you here. Lokesh is from FMCG sector and is working on rice manufacturing company. And wonderful, wonderful. Right. Great, great to have lots of, yeah, lots of great people from the industry in this meeting. All right, let everyone write to everyone. Okay. I've turned on the chat. Okay. Prince, can you hear me now? Shall we start? Wonderful. I would love to have your introduction, everyone. Okay. The core idea of the meeting is to go over the use cases and the case studies of data science in FMCG domain, and also talk about how you can achieve that using the Terno. That is the main idea and objective. So wonderful. Wonderful to have everyone in this meeting. Great.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Lokesh. Go ahead.
Sir, can you explain like what are the use cases that you need so that we can able to explain even more like
Yeah.
what are the
I will go through the use cases that we have right now, and
okay.
then you'll get a picture.
Okay. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes, Jasmine. You've raised the hand. Please go ahead. You can unmute. I have allowed you to unmute. Okay. All right. Feel free to raise your hand. I'll turn on the unmute for you. Okay. Okay, sure. I'll do. What happened to my profile? Okay, that's about myself. I am Sandeep Giri. I am the founder of Terno AI. I have previously founded CloudX Lab and Tbits Global. I am from the engineering background and the data science. I have worked on the large scale computing at Amazon in Moby, D, Shaw, and DevRev recently, and I graduated from MIT Rookie. But I have been in the industry for quite some time. I have, something that I don't mention here is that I founded a home delivery food system in Hyderabad that I ran for about 7 months. And that's my touch with the real consumer market. And but most of my life, I have been into engineering and data science across different companies. I have worked with. I've built the companies like Rebits, where most of the customers were large companies. Most of the power plants in India are built using my software. All right. So now, right? So the agenda for today's meeting is basically okay, those, all right, that's me. You can search on LinkedIn and you can find me. I'm Sandeep Giri. Okay. All right. So this is the agenda. So we'll go over the FMCG landscape in like briefly. Then we'll talk about what exactly is Terno AI. Then we talk about the use cases. And then we talk about the case studies. Now, with respect to the case studies, we will go over these 4 case studies out of all the case studies that we have built around Terno, and you can take a look, right? Just before I get started, so Terno is being used at one of the top FMCG and pharma companies based out of India, but they are a global multinational. So, the most common products, the one company that manufactures one of those most common products in India is using Terno for their marketing and sales data science. Okay. All right. All right. Wonderful. So no questions. If you have any question, please put in the chat or raise your hand. I will unmute and answer your question. All right. So basically, the FMCG landscape it's a fast-moving consumer goods industry. And these are the every organization under FMCG is experiencing an unprecedented transformation. On one hand, there is a behavior change in the consumer. And on the other hand, there's a digital disruption. On one hand, the consumer have become very price sensitive. On the other hand, consumer has got more uh, disposable income. So they are ready to buy in new products, but at the same time, they have become very price aware. They can compare everywhere. Similarly, there's a digital disruption that's happening, and and also the consumer behavior with respect to buying is changing drastically. For example, the consumption of the consumption of various unhealthy products is going down in recent past and so on. So there's a lots of change in the consumer behavior because of the media, because of YouTube channel, because of the changing economy. And and therefore it is important for every company to keep the pace with the consumer, the evolving behavior. And essentially it's a pretty big market. It's a 15.6 trillion-dollar market, and it's going to reach about 18.5 by 2028. And the companies that are really doing well are the ones that are data driven. They're trying to figure out what variant of the product sells good and what doesn't. Okay. And the AI in FMCG is going to be a key differentiator between a successful company and non-successful company, specifically the innovations related to the data science. Okay, so because in case of consumer goods, you have to understand the consumer behavior on a large scale, and you have to analyze the history of your products and so on. And so, and then inventory cost saving is another very, very powerful utilization of the data science in FMCG. Before I go about Terno, I want to just walk you through the case studies that'll help you, right? And those who are in hurry, they can basically just go to Terno and sign up. You can go to Terno and click on sign up, and you can start using and experimenting with it. This will give you a quick experience of Terno. Okay, I'll just skip this part. I'll come back to this again, right? So I want to take a couple of examples right now because all of you must be in, all of you must be having a question that how does this event relate to us? Okay, so if you are from FMCG domain, you will basically be able to relate to these examples. So here's a hypothetical company called Wellness Co. Okay, so Terno segments global consumers into three groups. Say for example, this Wellness Co. is launching a new natural sweetener. Okay, and they need to launch this new natural sweetener and figure out the marketing plans for it, marketing and the sales plan for it. So what they do is they ask Terno, they give all their data about their consumers. The Wellness Co gives and connects all the data sources to and then they ask Terno to segment the global consumers. And Terno breaks down the consumer data into three groups. One, say, health conscious millennials, household with diabetic members, and trend followers, and figure out which users are where in what geography. Okay. And once that is done, then you can basically create the personalized marketing by region, by group of, by region, by city, by country, and by economic growth and by channel. Say, for example, you realize that your target customers are mostly on Instagram and TikTok in these areas and so on. So essentially, once you can segment and understand your consumer base globally, you can come up with the marketing plan. Now, for the companies that do not have their own data, they might want to buy the data from the data vendors, say, for example, Nielsen. And there are quite a few companies which provide you a lot of data about consumer behavior. So if you're launching a product and you don't have the data, you can buy the data from lots of vendors and then connect the data to Terno, and you can ask Terno to do all kinds of analysis. All right. So that's one use case. And you can clearly see that, okay, in this geography, we should try retail loyalty. In this geography, you should try Instagram and TikTok and so on. So your campaigns are going to be very targeted. This is just an example. This is just an example. Uh, I mean, the e-commerce companies have similar example whereby they can also include, say, email. They can include, targeted ads on their own platform, like in case of Amazon and so on. Now, here's another use case. Say, for example, Pure Life Products, a global FMCG brand, right? And they want to, they are produce, they produce it, Pure Life produces protein drink mix. Now, this drink is seeing seasonal surges in Europe during January as customer adapts fitness resolutions. And Terno detects this pattern early. Okay. So based on the forecast, Pure Life adjusts its distribution network. More shipping containers and trucks are routed towards European market, and warehouse in Southeast Asia are scaled down temporarily. The outcome is 8% reduction in storage costs and better availability of products in high demand regions during peak season. Now, this is a real, you can say, operational challenges in FMCG, right? The demand basically basically, even in the quick commerce case in India, one particular store might be seeing much more demand while other might be seeing less demand at one particular time. So you can do this demand prediction. You can do the demand prediction or maybe anomaly detection in your data from the past history and give the results. So basically, you can decide upon your operations using the insights from Terno. And moving on, right. Next is the supply chain and operations. Okay. So let's take another example called Global Health Inc., a multinational FMCG producer, right? Factories in Brazil, Germany, and USA use IoT sensors to track ingredients usage in real time. Now, Terno highlights that Brazilian plant consumes 15% more cocoa per batch than the global average. Okay, so basically, based on the data, you can come up with these insights that optimize your operations. Okay, and after the fix, so the investigation reveals a calibration issue with one machine, and after the fix, annual cost saving reached to about $2 million. Production becomes more efficient with less material waste and so on. So you can even predict the operational challenges. Let's say one particular machine is not performing great. If you can look at the data and look at, let's say, the deviation and so on, so that Terno will do it by itself. You can ask Terno to do the analysis, do the do the do the what do you say, anomaly detection, or do other things. It will do that for you and give you the results that are needed. Okay. Other use cases could be basically, yeah, this is a diagram representing the same. Now, imagine that there is a company called BioCare International launching innovative wellness product. Global Trends Analysis by Terno identifies a rising interest in gut health and probiotic. And essentially, BioCare prototypes new yogurt called probiotic yogurt and tested globally. And customers testing, when we tested it on the customers, it shows that there is a 80% acceptance rate in Japan and South Korea, and only 35 acceptance rate in North America, right? So now, basically, using the data, we can figure out which markets are great for a product. So yes, so here is basically an example that talks about A/B testing and optimizing by doing the analysis of A/B test data. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Okay, the use case number 5 is about, let's say, there is a company called Green Life. It's an FMCG company focused on the health product, and Green Life integrates with fitness apps such as Fitbit and MyFitnessPal. Okay, so Terno analyzes the user's data and send personalized product suggestions. Consumers with high sugar intake gets nudges like try our zero sugar chocolate bar. Runners are recommended protein recovery shakes for faster recovery. This shifts Green Life's image from product manufacturer to a proactive wellness partner, boosting long-term consumer engagement. Okay, so this is just an example that based on the user's data, we users data in the steps. Terno basically gives the suggestions like zero sugar bar or protein shake. Okay. Now, there's another company, Pure Essence. These are hypothetical companies because we wanted to remove our customer's name in this. So Pure Essence, a global skincare FMCG, right? Right. So Terno builds a price elasticity model and finds that if you cut down $50 on the skincare gel, right, the sales increase by 20% in Latin America. In Western Europe, demand is largely inelastic. So let's say you have a brand that you have been selling for some time, right? A common sense will say that decrease the price and observe and make money. But I mean make more sales and hence, right? But it's not necessary that dropping the price will give you more money. Dropping the price will drop down your profits. And sometimes dropping the price can also drop your demand. So essentially, to do this analysis, whether dropping the price helps you make more money, you need to look at the data. You need to look at past. When you gave the discounts, did it increase or did it not increase? Did it increase for all the users or did it increase only for a certain geography? Okay. Did it increase, dropping the price impacted what all products or what all variants of your product, right? Based on these insights, say Pure Essence adopts to a region-specific pricing strategy. Okay. So for example, competitive pricing in emerging markets, while premium pricing in the developed markets or developed countries. So this is how, I mean, if you have to plot it and so on. Now, coming back to it, next, let me take the another example of quality and compliance. Take the example of a Health Plus Corp. It's an international FMCG company. Health Plus deploys AI-powered vision system on packaging lines in the US and Europe. Terno automatically detects defects such as cracked bottles or mislabeling in real time. The benefit includes 25% fewer consumer complaints, improved production speed, and consistent product quality. This reinforces brand trust and reduces manual inspection costs. Okay, the next use case is right, it's the same use case essentially. Now, before I go on to the case studies where I'll walk you through, let's say this case study whereby in this case study, we figure out if discounts are killing the profit or discounts are good. So I will talk about this case study in much more details. And this is how this is how the case study looks like. This is the result of interaction with Terno. Give me a summary of data set, give me the visualization. Terno gives you this data. Similarly, visualize sales versus profit by category and subcategory. You get this result and so on and so forth. So you can see here. All right. Now, right? Before jumping into case studies, let me step back to what is Terno. Okay, so Terno is your AI data scientist. Okay, feel free to ask questions before Yes, Bhavani, let me. Okay. Yes, you will get a copy of this presentation. We'll be sharing with you. Okay. All right. Shall I unmute you, Bhavan? All right. No questions at this point?
Hello,
Yeah, go ahead.
good evening, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Hi.
Sir, myself Bhavan Well. I'm studying engineering student,
Okay.
so I'm aspiring data scientist. I thought this session would be helpful, more helpful for me to become a data scientist, and this turn on AI and how to use our AI
Yeah,
to building the
yeah,
insights and also more attractive visualizations, data
yeah,
visualization.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for unmuting, sir.
Okay, okay. So yes, I mean, to become a data scientist, you need to understand industry, you need to understand use cases and how it impacts. And I think this session would help you in that sense. Thank you. All right. Any other questions before we go ahead? Okay. I've clicked on your name prematurely. Okay. So yes, go ahead. If anyone has any questions, I would love to answer those. Okay. A question from Lokesh is that project can you provide? Is there any use case project can you provide? Yes, so do reach out to us, right? Some of the data scientists who are working as intern with us, I might connect you with them so that you can basically work with use Terno and get insights with you. Okay, we'll do that. All right, drop me an email at reachus@Terno. That'll be great. Okay. A question from Kaustav is an end-to-end workflow for a real-world FMCG company a part of presentation? So basically, the way it works is there's no end-to-end workflow. Okay, there's no end-to-end workflow. Each project has got a real end-to-end workflow. So I'll walk you through four examples of end-to-end workflow of the various case studies from the FMCG company. Okay, that was Costa's question. Any other question before I move ahead? Yes? No questions. Moving ahead. So, so far I talked about some of the use cases of AI in FMCG. Okay, the simple essence was if you have data, you basically try to get insights from that data, or you can combine your data along with the data vendor, say Nielsen or somebody, and then get the results and do various kinds of analysis in terms of operational excellence, marketing plan, and sales strategies, as well as anomaly detection and other things. So that can be quite useful in industry. So what exactly is Terno? Terno is basically your data scientist. You ask questions in plain English, it responds in desired format. Okay, so you basically ask questions, it interacts with your data and gives you a result, right? The data can be anywhere, practically anywhere. Data can be in your databases, ERPs, in your data lakes. Data could be in your files, PDF, Excel sheet, CSVs, and so on. So you can, or maybe it could be part of, let's say, third-party APIs, or it could be part of the internet. So you can basically connect any kind of data source to Terno. Okay. Now, the core engine of Terno that connects to the database, there is something really unique about Terno. That when it's talking to your database, it has enterprise grade security. This is the most important part of Terno, the SQL Shield. So your data stays in your organization. Your data never leaves your premises. That's the most important part. And you can hide you know, you can basically you can give the role-based access control in your organization. Some some of the team members have access to one table, other members have access to another table, per column, per row. You have all sorts of security in place. Okay. So the basically you can do exploratory data analysis, advanced AI models, real-time processing, and automated report generation using Terno. And how does it work is user uploads a question, user uploads a file optionally. If you have extra data from somewhere in terms of a file, video file, PDF file, Excel file, or maybe image, you attach that to your question, go to Terno, interact with basically Terno interacts with your data, writes the code, writes the SQL. Your data could be inside something called model context protocols, AI services, databases, files, your CRMs, your ad networks, third-party databases, everything. And then Terno gives the answer back to the user. And Terno takes multi-step process. You give a question, it comes up with ideas. For each idea, it tries to solve each idea, comes up with more idea, and it keeps on coming up and solving until the answer is given to the user. Yes, Amit? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Sandeep. Hope you're
Yes,
able to hear me.
I can.
So yeah, Sandeep. So Sandeep, just wanted to understand. So this in this diagram that which you just showcased, that user that needs to upload files plus user's question to your
Yeah,
Terno AI, right?
yeah,
So can I understand this Terno AI is kind of an engine that which basically talks to all those data and other things like how like, because you mentioned like interact with data using code or SQL. Is there some kind of engine that which you people have prepared?
yeah.
Like
So you can see my screen.
yes, yes.
So the way it works is that you basically just sign up, okay? And
Uh-huh.
yeah, my machine is overloaded. Okay. So you basically sign up and you can start interacting with it. Like you go
Mm-hmm.
like here, right? You can basically you can just ask question. Optionally, you can attach your files,
Okay.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Optionally, by
Mm-hmm.
default, I have configured three databases here. One is a
Okay.
demo SQLite database, which is
Mm.
this is a standard demo database. This is
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
global data like global
Okay.
literacy rate, global internet usage, global inequality. This is the data from ERP. This is the ERP database.
Mm-hmm.
And it's loading just too many tables. Okay, so yes, this is essentially, you know, the
So
info.
these are all like kind of dummy datas, or there are or these are kind of real datas.
We can't share the real data, so we have put in the dummy data.
That's what I'm asking. So this seems to be a dummy data, right? Or not from a real data perspective.
Essentially, there is a product called Odoo, just like SAP. There is a company
Okay.
called Odoo. They make
Okay.
they have the very popular ERP. So
Okay.
basically they have created a dummy data source. where
Okay.
there is a dummy
So this
class.
data, okay, fine. So this data belongs to the Odo organization that who has published
Exactly.
you to
Exactly.
utilize in your Terno, right? If I understand correctly, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So basically, your organization might be having more hundreds of data sources. Okay.
Okay.
So you basically connect all your data sources from
Uh-huh.
Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, BigQuery,
Mm.
and so on, right? And in case you have
Um,
four data sources, we can connect them by the way of something called MCP. We have a philosophy called MCP with which you can interact with anything. You have Shopify account, you have Google
mm,
Drive, you have Microsoft. Everything can be connected at some place. So Terno knows about your data. It is studies and tries to figure out what is the meaning of
mm.
each data set and makes notes of it. And then when you ask questions, it basically
Uh,
does the analysis in detail. Okay. So when you ask, let's say here, here,
mhm,
here, analyze leads and won deals by source, campaign,
mhm,
medium, using UTM campaign and this. So I just told it a little bit more about my data set. In your organization, once we set it up, we don't need to
mm.
explain any of this. Okay? Any of this. It'll basically understand automatically, and then we'll continue to use that. And then
Got
here,
it.
it basically starts the analysis and then it comes up with these results in the end. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So it shows that from the search engine we are getting these many leads, these many of them were converted, this was the revenue, this was revenue per lead, this was the lead recall, and so on and so forth. You see that?
So, Sandeep, so in this case, any size of data or any kind of a quantum of data that needs to be fed into to Terno to analyze, or like how
It can,
exactly?
so even petabytes of data it's able to do. There's no limit
Okay.
because
Uh,
we are not uploading your data to ChatGPT or anything, right?
Okay.
The way it does is just like a data scientist would analyze the data, it
Mm,
follows that strategy. You ask a question, what will data scientists do? It will just go and probe your tables. It will understand your problem statement. It will look at the
mm,
tables, understand your data structure, and then will write code, whether in Python, build models, build
mm.
all of the things needed in order to answer your question. So it doesn't just take your data and upload somewhere. No, your data remains in your organization. So
All right.
how do people use Terno is, how do most of the companies use Terno is, they install Terno inside their cloud. Okay.
Mm,
This is only for demo and for small clients, but for real big clients, they can't share the data with us. So they take
mhm.
Terno, install it on their cloud inside their own servers, and their data is already there. And Terno talks to their data, studies it, writes the code, tries this, tries that, and gives you the answer eventually. Okay.
All right. That means we need to install this Terno AI in our system, and this Terno will internally talk to all the data sources and then publish all those results. Is that correct?
That's correct. But those who do not want to install it right now, they basically can just come to Terno.ai, sign up and
Okay.
start using. Okay. And that way they don't have to set it up and so on. But for you, when you are connecting your own data, you will have
Uh,
to allow Terno servers to talk to your database because your database may not allow us to connect if you are using our servers. Yeah.
Lost you.
Uh, Let me repeat.
Yeah. Please. I think we lost you. I guess for a few seconds.
Okay. So let me repeat. So most of the large customers
Mm,
who do not want to share the data outside their boundary, what they do is
mm.
they take Terno and install
Correct.
inside the organization. That is
Uh-huh.
great for many of the big companies whose data who don't want to share the data with us. Some of the companies which are small size organization, what they do is they basically connect their data sources here after signing up at Terno.ai. And then when you connect here, you'll have to go to your database admin and allow our servers to access your data. So it'll give you the
Okay.
IP addresses so that we can
Hmm.
access. Otherwise, we won't be able to connect to the data.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Very wonderful
Okay.
questions. Wonderful questions.
Okay.
All right.
Sandeep, quick question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So the question is like, if, for example, I install your Terno AI on my cloud,
Yes.
so now it will be using all my servers only
Yes.
as per the requirement.
Yes.
And if I connect all my data sources,
Yes.
so as I understand, will it solve the two things? Like one is, if I ask the questions are around different analytics, that is kind of a business questions. If business, we give an interface to business
Yeah.
for interacting with Terno AI,
Yeah.
can we also integrate it in a similar way, a kind of a chatbot also, like a chatbot interface? We have some chatbot interface, and at the back end, can we integrate Terno AI as
Yes.
well for
Yes.
for answering the question of the customers?
Good question. Good question. So we are building the Slack bot. We are building the Microsoft Teams bot as well as WhatsApp bot. So we're building those, but we are open to building other bots. And the only thing is, it is designed to be data scientist. It is designed
Mhm.
data scientist, right? And like because customer will need the instant answer. Data scientist takes time, does detailed analysis, and then gives the result, right? You may not want that to happen with the customer, right? So in those cases, what people usually do is after they finish the whole analysis, what they do is they create something called apps. Okay. In some cases, it would give a suggestion that you can create an app out of it. Okay. So you create an app, and once you have the app, you can basically launch it. Uh, you can just use that app to answer users' question. Okay. So customer, we haven't thought of that, like, can you use it for customer?
Yeah, means see, my thought was, because you already have this entire ecosystem where you can connect it with the different data sources, because data source for business will be different and data source for customer will be different, a
Correct.
little bit different. There will be transactional database; those are common for both.
Right.
Yeah. So in that case, if it like it, if your algo is working in a way where you do all the analysis and put it in a reporting way for
Yeah.
customer, which I can see in the demo also,
Yeah.
do you have readily available uh, algo for answering the simple questions? Like, see, it just came in my head, but like you might be having two set of algos, and one is working this way, the other one is working with
Yeah.
answering the questions in a simple way, not doing like
Right.
this kind of analysis. So, is that also available with you, like something like that?
Uh, I, we basically what we have done is right. Here you can customize the prompt, the behavior by the way of talking to it. So you can ask it not to do a deep analysis, instead just do single step analysis, and it'll do only the single step analysis that is there. But again, I need to think about whether you can expose it to your customer, because it is designed like a data scientist, and usually data scientists are not that polished when it comes to interacting with your customers.
Can your algo behave differently, Sandeep, on different variety of the other data, like X data or Y data? So do you think that your algos will behave differently,
Yes,
or
yes.
it will take everyone into same consideration?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Like for example, here I said, here is a resume of someone Okay.
Okay.
Extract the text from the resume if this is suitable for DBA or not. Okay. So I just want to check if
Okay.
this person is suitable for DBA or not. So
Okay.
here it is studies and it studies the resume and tells that the resume shows some database exposure. Okay. And right, conclusion is the candidate has basic SQL and ETL familiarity. They do not demonstrate, right? So this is completely a very different task. This is not what we designed the Terno for, but it does the job. Okay.
So
So
the statements are like a hypothetical statement, or they're kind of, or the kind of some kind
these
of,
are
or some kind of
real
an
resume.
imaginary.
This is a real resume.
Okay.
This is a real resume. And
Okay.
right, for even ourselves, if we are reviewing someone's resume, I
Mm-hmm.
use this. Okay, it's real. Everything is just real. If you know, it has done a very good analysis of
Okay.
the resume. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so it does.
So
It is
this
very
happens only
versatile.
one. Sorry to pause you, Sandeep. So this resume which you are talking about, so can I feed like number of like n number of profiles together, and it scans and provides the conclusion
Yeah,
one after another, or I, like it could be like only one at a time, like.
no, it can do everything. I'll just show you something. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, right. Okay, so I may have to quickly close it because it's like confidential data. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I just right. Say, for example, find customers. Here, I'm using this thing to do sentiment analysis of things. Okay. Here, I said that, right? Put these sentences on a graph such that things which are similar, they come close by. Okay. So it
Okay.
has drawn them. I want to eat pani puris. Does really exist? Does free will exist? Can a machine become conscious? So it does, uh, like here, we love India. Bharat is a great country, and so on. So it has put them close by, and Android and iPhones are useful, so it has put them close by, and so on. So it can do all sorts of analysis in much more details. But I wanted to show you something. Um, there was an invoice example where I took the data from all the invoices and put them together in an Excel sheet. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Like here I'm trying to do something very different. Okay. Split the attached video into two equal length videos. Right. So it has done that splitting part. Finally, it has done the splitting part. Okay. And it has put it in my files here. This is the working environment for this data scientist. It keeps on preparing all the things at one place. Like in one case, I converted a lot of PDFs into an Excel sheet by combining and extracting all the valuable information. It is there somewhere. I'm not able to find that. Yes. So this is the exercise I gave it here. Like these PDFs contain invoices. Each PDF contains the table of work done. Combine all rows from the table into CSV. So these are the files I gave Terno analysis, and then
In a
it
single shot.
in a single shot. Yeah.
Okay.
And after finishing the work, it created a nice CSV. It studied multiple times. It tried uh, one strategy that did not work. Then it tried another strategy that did not work. Then it tried another strategy that worked finally. Okay, because the task was complex. So it basically does all of that. Okay, you can see that it is trying to do all the installation and everything. And yeah. And finally, it gave me the result somewhere. Oh, okay. So it basically saved it here. It did the job. Yeah, this one here. It
Okay.
has done the job for me. Okay. It has combined the results from all the PDFs into one. Okay. So you can see, yeah, you can see it has combined the jobs from everywhere. Okay. So that's something, it is versatile. It is not necessary that it comes up with certain set of steps. Based on the problem, what problem it is trying to solve, it would come up with the ideas and solve it. Okay. Similarly, imagine that you have some data in your one database, some data in another database, some data you have to download from internet, and so on. It'll do everything and give you the results. Like, for example, one of the clients in FMCG, they want to do the forecasting. They want to do the
Okay.
forecasting of their product. So what it has done is it gathered for every city, in India, it gathered the climate monthly, climate as in the temperature, the humidity, and so on. There are three, four parameters it has gathered. And then it has also gathered the education level from the internet for each city. And basically, then it took the data of every city, like how much do we sell in each month historically for 10 years, and then overlap the two data, and then did the prediction. Then it did the prediction for the weather for next month in that particular city where you want the prediction. And then it predicted how much demand will be there. So it comes up with all these ideas that are something very, something which um, which takes like months and months of time. So you can overlap all the data and you can ask. It's just a matter of how you ask questions. That's all.
Hey, Sandeep.
Go ahead.
Hey.
Sandeep, one question. Sandeep, the data that which you're just talking about. So
Yeah.
can we have some kind of a data which is based on the kind of some kind of a real streaming data on a live basis data? Can we do that? Can we have that? Or
You
it is
can
just
connect.
some kind of data that which
Yeah,
is,
you
I'm
can
sorry,
connect that using this part. There is a philosophy
some
here.
kind of a live streaming data that probably we can make use of, and probably then we can like
Yeah, sorry about it.
One question. I do have a question, Sandeep. Like, see, every business is unique, and
Yes.
every business has a unique data set, and like it's the verbiage, the words we use in any business, so it's
Yeah.
different, you know. So
Yes.
how will you if like my data sources are integrated in Terno,
Yeah.
how Terno, like, is it like your algorithm will take care of everything?
Good.
We need not required to train it
Yeah.
on our like the our business specific words or business specific definitions.
Yeah.
Means how Turno will understand that, like if I'll be asking
I
question any
understood.
specific, that is business specific question. So what about that?
Very good question. And that's a question coming from real experience. Okay. Um, so I think I couldn't relate with this question 2 months back or 3 months back, but I can relate with it. And for that, okay, so for everyone else, the question is every organization has their own lingo, own language, own slangs, right? And how do you deal with that with Turner, right? What do you do in that case, right? So what we have is something, one is basically there is something called organizational prompt. Okay, so you can essentially just create a organization prompt whereby what you can say is, in my company, people call, um, this product as this product as this, and so on, right? Mm, So for, if let's say a company is making sugar-free something like, or Coca-Cola, right? We call it like CC for Coca-Cola and things like that, right? So you can define all of that inside organization prompt. That is the first level of customization, right? Now, all of this, the way we do is that when we are implementing for our organization, or anyone is implementing for the organization, what they do is they say that here is the question that person asked. Here is the SQL query or Python code that they wrote to answer this question. Learn from it. So it basically learns from your past reports and comes up with all of this hidden knowledge in your organization. Okay. So one is you manually write the prompt. Secondly, you let the Terno figure out the local language by giving it the historical data, historical reports, and then it basically comes up with all these ideas. Third way is that when you talk to it, you say that in my organization, SF is called sugar free. So it basically learns from it learns from that. Okay. And next time when you say SF, it will always understand it to be sugar free and things like that. So there are three ways to do it. One is a manual prompt curation, where you define your organization specific knowledge. Second is you give it past reports and past solutions. It learns from that. And third is when you interact with it, it will keep on learning with you. Does that
So you
answer your
mean,
question?
yes, means that the second part is we'll have to upload all our previous different kind of reports that we have generated or used, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And like, if because if you share your business lingo, you share your business definitions,
Yes. Yeah.
sometimes uh, there are some like business specific things which we do not want to share, and it automatically goes with data.
No,
So
it
in
won't
that
come
case,
here.
like,
It
if,
won't come here. It will be in your premises data, right? When we
yeah, but
install Terno, it will be in your organization and all of that data will remain with you.
right, right. I understood. But okay, so you're giving this. So it is secure if I install Terno in my landscape,
Yeah,
in my on my servers.
yeah.
Terno do not have any data collecting things in the background or anything with, or sourcing it somewhere else. It's not like that, you know?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, it's any platform that we purchase and use,
Yeah,
install in our environment. It's similar to that.
yeah, yeah. On top of it, what like the one very important thing it does is, in case you want to mask certain, even the metadata, you can mask
Mm.
it by renaming it. Okay. And you can also mm, remove multiple columns from the tables, right? You can delete without touching your actual database. Let's say there is a particular table that contains people's credit card information. You don't want analytics to touch that, right? And you can't change, you can't go and ask DBAs to change your existing servers, remove this column, remove that. In those all cases, what we do is, you go to the admin, go to the column configuration, remove the mark many columns as private, and Terno or LLM will never touch those columns. Okay. So we provide an extra layer of security on top of your data. Other than database already has security. On top of that, if you want to further put the wall, you can put it using Terno.
And
Okay.
what do you think? Like, what is the estimated time that it will take in getting trained up to a mark where it starts giving a proper like reports? Yes.
Okay, so usually it doesn't take much time, right? It'll basically it basically is pretty efficient at getting it done. The only challenge is when you have tribal knowledge, when you have local knowledge, which is not note it down anywhere. Like, for example, there's a company who bought Terno recently. They are using Terno. Now they had acquired multiple products in past. So every product data is in different database. And from after certain date, the data is in one table. After certain date, the data is in another table. So this knowledge that for this from this period to this period, go here, this period, only this kind of knowledge is needed to be codified. And but by default, as soon as you connect, 90% of your questions would be it would be able to answer just by connecting without providing it any context. Yeah. So it should be, I mean, the more you work with it, the accuracy keeps improving. On day one, you'll get 90% of your results.
Hey, Sandeep, I
Yes,
don't know
Naveen.
why I have an echo.
Okay. Yeah, can you try now? Everybody is on mute, so you can try now. I'll try to be on mute.
Oh.
Go ahead. Okay. All right. Any other question? Thank you, Rohan, for answering those questions. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Luis, could you try unmuting? I'm turning on mute. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, everyone. No questions? All right.
Hello,
Yes,
am
I
I
can
audible?
hear you. Yes, Adarsh.
Hello.
Yeah.
So where will you share this PPT?
We will share over your email. Okay.
Email. Okay. After this, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can leave your
Okay.
email in
Thank
the chat as well.
you. Okay.
Hello,
Okay.
am I audible now? Naman here.
Hi, Naman. Yeah, you are
Yeah,
audible.
I have a small question. As I
Mhm.
understand, is this similar to like a chat GPT kind of model, but say kind of customized to our company requirement where it can access company's internal data and ask any question with respect to data, right?
Correct.
That is in short what it is doing.
Yeah. One big difference, Naman. You can see my screen? It's a good
Yes,
question, right? So question is, how is it different from ChatGPT, right?
correct,
So main difference is that, as you said, you understood it correctly, that it is inside your company. It doesn't upload the data to ChatGPT or anybody. Instead,
correct,
it comes up with ideas, it writes SQL, it does all of that, okay, inside your organization and generates the result. It only shares the information, the names of the columns, names of the metadata. That's all. It doesn't share your actual data with ChatGPT or anybody.
One follow-up question, for example, is if there's a standard method that the company has already defined for doing a customer kind of segmental analysis,
Yes.
and if I feed that methodology in this Termo tool,
Yeah.
then Termo tool will be able to do that standard analysis at a defined frequency that I would have feed it, right? And give the
Yeah,
output
of
on
course.
that day.
Of
All
course.
that can be done.
Yeah. Even if you have not defined, then also it'll be able to do. If you have defined, it's well and good. It'll be able to do that in your organization.
Okay,
Isn't it?
got it. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I resolved my microphone issue. So here goes my question again.
Mhm.
Um, so so it learns, right? It learns from data
Yeah.
that you already have in the company, right? So
Right.
I'm working on something similar, but conceptually, not building a tool like you have, right? Where every client, basically,
Mhm.
let's say the example of the customers where you were talking different cities, different education level, it's like every client gets vectorized. Okay,
Mhm.
you remember that three-dimensional thing you showed us where like similar topics get bundled together? So similar clients get bundled together, and that's how you predict, okay? Because you know these guys behave similar, those guys behave. So it's like a segmentation process that happens within the tool. Is that what it does? Is that what Thermo does? Like it can bundle similar
No,
clients together.
no, it's not. That's not how it works. Okay.
Okay.
So for every problem, it comes up with hypothesis. You want to do, let's say, customer segmentation, right? It comes up with a hypothesis that where is my customer's data? I will first get the customer's data, then I will put it in this format, then I would apply this algorithm, right? It comes up with these hypotheses. And then for each of the hypotheses, it comes up with algorithm, it comes up with the code, Python code, and then it runs it, checks the outcome, then again does next thing and so on. So it is exactly the way a data scientist would do. If you ask me to do something, I will come up with lots of hypotheses. Against every hypothesis, I would figure out which data sources I need to get the data, what code I need to write. I run it, then check, I run it, then check, and then once I get the good result, then I give it to you. It works like that,
Okay. Okay.
right? So those who are curious, you can take a look at something called chain of thought and actions. Okay, that's what Terno does. On
Okay.
top of that, it also has a very big component called learning with your system. We call that semantic layer, knowledge layer. Then it has a semantic layer whereby it has its own new kind of SQL engine. What it does is you write the SQL and the questions that you're asking or product that you're asking could be vague, right? You can say select start from products where the product is something that I wear on the top, right? Instead of saying shirt, I'll say something that I wear on the top. So it'll basically just match that. So it has all of that engine. We call that semantic engine, which basically gives the semantic capability to database. On top of it, it also has a secure engine which secures your database and gives the result. And that's what it does. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. I want to walk you through the use cases of Terno. Go ahead, Naman. Raise the hand.
Yeah, I already asked my question. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful set of questions. I'm pretty happy to see amazing questions.
Hello.
Yes, Deepanjan?
Hi. Sandeep, I just wanted to ask this that, I mean, by any chance, is this recording going to be available? I basically missed it
No
because
worries.
I have.
We'll be sharing the recording.
Yeah, sure. Another question I was curious about. I'm new to all this AI stuff that I'm trying to explore. You said sometimes back that about the chain of thought and, the engine identifies, it basically tries on gets on a hypothesis, writes code for each of the hypothesis steps, and then tries to identify whether each step has satisfying output or not. How does it actually understand what is a satisfying output?
Yeah, so basically, it, I mean, most of the LLMs understand simple question that here is the result, here's the question, it can, whether it answers or not. So you have like a multi-agent system, one agent working, other agent verifying. So all of that is happening in parallel.
Yeah, but then verification is entirely, I mean, it changes, right? I mean, let's say what I'm saying is that what is the weather today in
Yes,
India?
yes,
The agent says the weather is X, but
yes,
then it might be correct. Then still the other agent who is observing
yes,
says it is not correct.
yes. So in 90% cases, right, both cannot be wrong. Okay. So if let's say one agent has the probability of being wrong 10%, another one has also a probability of being wrong, let's say 10%, which means the chance of both being wrong is around 1%,
Mhm.
right? So it is, so if you have multi-agent system, it's usually a good and safer way. Then on top of it, what we have is other mechanics using which we kind of, test it out if this is the answer, right? Let's say there is a question, sometimes it lies, right? LLMs lie and LLMs are unreliable, right? So we have built the mechanics around it so that, let's say, given a question, does it require writing code? Yes, it did. Then did it write the code? Yes. That means the answer must be right. Okay. That kind
Then
of.
you also provide human inputs to validate whether the output that the code it wrote, validate that the code it wrote is correct or not. Do you provide human
No,
inputs
it
or
runs
some?
the code. It runs the code. If the code is wrong, it corrects it. It runs the test cases by itself and then checks whether the outcome is correct. It also checks if the code it wrote is memory overflowing. It controls that. If the code it wrote is going in infinite loop, it corrects that. So it does all of that.
Oh, I mean the test cases, right? The
Yeah.
test cases you provide it, or it
It it
generates the test
it
cases
generate
first?
it generates by itself.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Because it's humanly not possible. The only thing we do is we take the feedback from the user saying, was it successful? Did you like the result? And if the person says yes, it persists the knowledge it gained by that exercise. And it basically, if you say no, then it tries the second method, other hypothesis. And then if you say yes, then it learns about things from the whole exercise and it keeps on going like that.
Okay, so there needs to be a human in the loop somewhere to verify.
If you want, most of the time it does a pretty good job. So
Okay.
initially, what we do is that since it's a corporate environment, because we cannot fail, right? So what we
Hmm.
usually do is we take, say, 20 to 30 use cases for an organization, and we basically run, say, 30 test cases every day to check if the quality is still perfect, and we keep an eye on that at every.
Hmm.
Okay. And we run in like multiple ways and observe that if it's giving the good results or not.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Wonderful questions. Wonderful questions. All right. Wonderful. Now, I want to show you the real case studies that our users of Terno and our interns have prepared for FMCG. Though there are hundreds of such case studies that have been done by people who have been using Terno, but there are some things that I want to highlight. Okay. All right. So one question in FMCG is, are discounts killing your profit? Many businesses focus solely on increasing sales through aggressive discounting without realizing that the deep discounts on certain products can erode your profit margins. The challenge is to identify which products and strategies are hurting profitability, okay, and fix them using data-driven approach, like here. So the first is, let's say you want to do this analysis that are discounts killing our profit? Okay. So essentially both extremes are wrong, giving no discounts, giving discounts. Okay. And or you can say that like what price is good, low price or good high price. High price sales will be low, low price sales could be high, but you will make loss. So there's a price discovery. Similarly, there's a discount discovery time, right? So what you can do is, let's say you have the data, history of data that discounts on every product. So what you can do is find most and least. First step would be probably to find most and least profitable product and categories. And then visualize the relationship between discounts and profits to discover the pattern, such as subcategories with negative profits driven by excessive discounting and so on. And then you can visualize it, the profit map by region, and analyze customer segments to find if certain regions or customer types disproportionately buy loss-making discounted item. Okay. So then the objective would be to build a smarter discount plan, generate actionable data-driven recommendations, and so on. So here, let me just show you in action. So this is the report that is prepared by a human data scientist using Terno. Okay. So first, give me the summary of the data set. Also visualize the distribution of sales, profit, and discount. So it says that sales were this much was the mean, this was a standard deviation, this was minimum, this was maximum. Profit was this much. Okay, mean profit was 28. Standard deviation was this. Minimum was this, and so on. So you can see that standard deviation is just humongous, right? So the standard deviation is humongous. Okay, and right. Now, basically the here you can see the discount. The the discount mean is this much, standard deviation is this much, minimum is this much, maximum is this much. Next is here. So what you see is the distribution of sales data and then distribution of profit data. And now we go further. We say that visualize sales versus profit by category and subcategory. Okay, it goes around and then basically does the job. Okay, so it says that there's a sales data, there's a profit, and there's sales, and you can see that basically here the sales, increasing the sales is also increasing profit in most of the cases. Okay, now, right? Okay, here, show me the top 10 most profitable and least profitable product along with the percentages of profit and loss. So here, these are, let's say, this is based on certain data from a FMCG company. And then these are the top 10 products which are most profitable. Okay. And it has also given the profit margin and so on. Okay. Okay. And then next is this one. Top 10 least profitable products are basically this one, this one, this one, and so on. Okay. And these are the losses that we have made on that. Okay. Then for each subcategory, plot their average discount on one axis and their profit on another. Highlight the subcategory with negative profit. Okay. So here. So these are the ones that are negative profit, and these are the ones that are there. Okay. First, next is, okay. So average profit margin would be, this is average profit margin. And then basically it's the profit margin when you put the discount here, you make the loss. Okay. Now visualize the map of sales and profit across the United States. So it has done. Okay. Moving ahead. Here, do high value customers buy different categories compared to low value? So that's another analysis. So say for example, in furnitures, the these right, these are low values, these are high value, right? The customers basically, which one do they buy more? So you can see that in case of technology, people buy the high value more as compared to the low value. Okay, so that's a very good insight here. Okay, and right, recommend which product should get discounts and which should not. Okay, so it has given the suggestions that give this is one product that you should give this discount on. This is another. This is another. It has given us right, avoid discount for these products. Okay, similarly, yeah, and so on. So you can see very clearly that summarize these findings. We are asking you to summarize the finding. So focus area for profit growth, it has figured out. And then it has right categories. So technology is worth investing in, office supplies, and but it has a dilute margin. Okay, and so on. So you can see that overall profit margin hovers around this much profit. So it's kind of a summary of the entire analysis that it has prepared. And yeah, it has also prepared these dashboards for summary. Okay, so you can see this very easily in using Terno. This is the link to the history prepared of the same conversation that Nikita had, and so makes sense, right, everyone? You can take a look at this. We'll be sharing all these findings and results. So in Terno, you can, once you're done with, let's say, analysis, if you're done with analysis, let's say here, I'm done with analysis, I can click on share and share with, everyone. Okay. So, all right, let's go back where we were. Right. Next insights are from Cocoa dataset. Cocoa dataset is essentially um, it's a dataset from chocolate makers, and they want a clarity on which factors drive higher product ratings and which regions, bean type or cocoa percentages, represent untapped market potential. So here, basically, as part of this analysis that I'm going to walk you through, it's basically a systematic data-driven decisions around the product. That's the core purpose. Okay, so you can take a look at this. So the steps are pretty simple. Understand the data quality and structure. That will be the first step. Second would be discover what drives ratings. Then we will basically, once we have done that, we analyze market trends and gaps, and then we provide data-driven recommendations. So this is another such example where basically a detailed analysis of the product with respect to geography and how it works. And finally, it basically, you must take a look at it, read through it. This is pretty useful to know. And it figures out that this, right? This was the conclusion. So this was the data set with 9 columns, these many rows, no brand missing. The key fields were cocoa percent and ratings, bean type, bean origin, company, and company location. And those were the few important features. Then key findings were that that overall Pearson coefficient, which shows that if you like keep increasing like the overall, there is no direct correlation between the cocoa percent versus the sales. Okay, the best consumer preference is 70 to 79% cocoa brand, right? If you increase the cocoa percent from 79%, then also the customer wouldn't like it. And basically, if you decrease the cocoa percent below 70, then also people don't like it. That's the whole conclusion about that report. Now, then these are the other parts and so on. All right. Give me list of all the prompts that I've given in the conversation. So it basically gives that. And then, right, you can ask it to prepare all sorts of things that uh, show me colored, clean, organized plot. This is called, by the way, this is called, what do you call this? There is a name for this plot. I never knew that. Okay. It automatically came up with this kind of a nice chart that this will show a better results. You see that? Okay. Okay. You can keep on drilling down, right? And now I do not know how do I go back. Okay. Oh, here. Yeah. All right. So you can take a look at that. And that was the second case study. Third case study is similar. It's about customer churn and happiness analysis. So you have to identify customers at the risk of churn, understand key warning signs of dissatisfaction, explore demographics, and segment the patterns. So you can do that simply by using Terno, basically, right? Aggregate customer metrics, figure out what's important, what's not, then flag at-risk customers, then analyze key warning signs, build customer health score, and segment an action plan. So that's what is here. Okay, so this case study basically talks about that. Okay, so it has prepared some score, and you can take a look at that. All right. Yeah. Okay, so it does the detailed analysis. You can take a look at that. Okay. And yes, it has done the summary for us here. Okay, so it has basically, given the detailed plan on how to minimize the customer churn. Okay. The next is forecasting sales, right? You want to do the basically sales prediction at certain place, and it gathers the data, cleans it, does the sales pattern analysis, then forecast the total sales, and then it does the granular forecasting by category and region. So this is the example whereby it takes some time, but it would give you the results of forecasting sales. Okay, so these are something that people have not dreamed of, that this can be done in a day or two, something that used to take years or months. Okay, so that's what Terno does, right? Many of the manufacturing industry or FMCG and so on, they're finding it fairly difficult to hire data scientists. And even if there is a data scientist in such company, they're just too busy. There are too many things to do. and they're not able to finish the work. So essentially, this leads to a lot of you know missed opportunities in FMCG. Okay, that's pretty much. So thank you, everyone. Feel free to ask questions. I'm open to questions.
Sandeep, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Navas.
First of all, thanks for the session. My question is simple. In the beginning of the session, you mentioned that the customers can host or install the Terno in their cloud environment.
Yeah.
If they choose to install outside their cloud environment, what are the kind of cons do they have to face?
Not much. The only thing they have to do is when connecting the database, they have to allow our IP addresses to connect to the database. Other than that, there's no difficulty at all.
And that has to be any public IP, private
Yes, it
IP
has to be
type of a
public
concept?
IP because we won't be able to access it otherwise.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's the only downside. And yeah.
Adding on to this, sir, we only want the read-only access on your database, so it's not that much harmful for your enterprise, right?
Yeah. No, it could be, Rohan, it could be like it's a private data at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I understood the answer from the other gentleman also. But at the end of the day, I'm looking from a cybersecurity perspective.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So from our perspective, we have like the Terno, the first and foremost thing that was designed for Terno was something called SQL Shield that was designed specifically for protecting the databases. And like we use that while accessing your database, we use that so that no matter how much LLM hallucinate, it will not let your database be impacted. Okay, in any way. That is the most important part. Okay. So we basically there were systems whereby you could protect the computer from executing a program, like right the way antiviruses used to be tested was inside that virtual machine. So those are called Docker and containers. Those things are very popular in software domain, but SQL Shield, the database protection, is something that people have not built. So we built that ground up.
Excellent. Thank you.
Wonderful. Any questions for me, everyone?
If there are no questions, I would like to have one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What are the kind of LLMs you are using, and especially the insights of the Terno behind the screens, in terms of OpenAI, or you have your own LLMs and your server? How is it working actually?
Good question. We don't have our LLM model. We are using we can use either Gemini or OpenAI or DeepSeek or any other model which provides the reasoning capability. Okay, we prefer the models which have ability to reason. The ones that do not have ability to reason, usually they end up making too many mistakes. Okay, and we do not want that. So yeah, we are right now on the Terno.ai, the website that we have. There we are using OpenAI. But for some customer, people are using Gemini, some are using mostly OpenAI.
So Sandeep, so what you're trying to say is, so basically, so all the ready-made models which are available in the market, be it like OpenAI or Gemini or DeepSeek or anything, or models which are readily available. So we are using those ready-made models for our activity, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So that means there is no LLM that which you people are preparing or anything, that it is directly which has been designed by OpenAI and all and so on. So that you are just using it, customizing it, and you using it on its own.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We have done a lot of engineering and machine learning around it.
Okay. Yes. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Because there's a
Nice.
lot of work that needs to be done to ensure security, accuracy, and the optimum way of presentation and so on. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. That's why we are doing that.
So
In
Sandeep,
the,
any chance that you guys are like basically curious to develop your own models
it doesn't
instead
make
of depending on like OpenAI or anything?
it doesn't make sense to develop our own model, right? Let them
Okay.
develop the model, right? There's a fair amount of competition between various companies. So it's better
All
to
right.
just use that. There are companies which are like Olama, they're trying to improve the local models. If that turns out to be good enough tomorrow, we'll use that, right?
Okay.
The main value, basically taking the LLM. LLM is like the fundamental, like the way we had the computer, but somebody needs to make it such that it is usable, right? And
Right.
we are one of those people who are making it usable. It can learn with people. It like people learn to collaborate with it, and how can we make sure that it's secure and it's like very optimum and all of that. So we are primarily focused there, and yeah, we are designing the semantic systems and so on, because the LLM design is a different game altogether, and the thing that we are doing is a different game together. So our focus is very, very, very centric towards building the data scientist.
So it is just kind of a plug and play that you use it and customize it and then start using it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Will be
Okay.
so far organizations need to install it, but soon we'll be launching a desktop version where you can download it and use it.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Sandeep, I was just wondering, whether Terno is able to do some kind of forecasting
Yeah.
based on time series, specifically time series based problems.
Yeah. It will figure out whether it needs to do time series or other things.
Okay,
Yeah. You
thank you.
can just connect your data, say that give me the forecasting. It'll do all the time series analysis and everything.
Sandeep, will it also be able to handle these scenarios like joining prediction, attrition prediction kind of thing?
Yeah, this was the use case, right? Yeah. This was the use case, yeah.
Sorry, actually, I have joined a little bit late. I mean, I will just go through the recording. But Sandeep, one thing I want to check, how can we ensure the data security? I mean, is it something called, will the data will be somewhere like gone out of our, I mean, if I have to implement this for any enterprise systems, right? I mean, so how the security will be handled here?
Security will see it keeps the data with your organization. It doesn't let the data go out of your organization. It is not uploading the data to any LLM. It is only sending them only the bits of information, such as this is my table name, this is my column name, tell me, right? And then it generates the code, and then it runs it, observes, and does it again and again. So your
Okay.
data stays in your organization. Data is not getting uploaded on any LLM or anywhere.
Okay, got it. So basically, I mean, if we had to create any models kind of thing, right, it will take some months kind of thing. I mean, if you had to fine tune the model for accuracy and all.
Yeah.
So now if I adopt to this Terno, can I speed up my process of something called, let's say, Zoom, my model is not really doing good. So is it something called it will automatically able to identify the features required to increase the model? So will it work in that way?
Yes, it'll try. It'll see that, okay, this model is not doing good. So it'll give you suggestion that you should include this feature, that feature. Also, it'll drop some of the features to improve the performance.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can try it, Sandeep. I mean, on our any of the things. Do we have any trial version kind of
You
thing?
can just go to the website, sign up. You go to website, sign up, put your data, ask questions.
Sure. Okay.
So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? We can just
Okay.
come to Terno, right? And it's pretty straightforward here. Okay, like here you can just send new chat, and then you can. Okay, you can just ask questions, attach your data, and that's it. All right. You can give it a shot.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Sandeep.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Wonderful to have all of you in this session. And it was really good set of questions that you guys asked. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.